I'll tell you this, I made a huge mistake.
Joseph Roberts murdered another human being.
How many times did you hit her?
Too many.
Did she run?
I don't remember.
This case was very unique. It crossed state lines. We saw him traveling across the country.
People make mistakes, Jim.
Not ones that cost them their life, you know.
I'll talk to you.
This moment changed everything.
I think it's Coke. So,
That's cool.
Okay.
Awesome.
I was gonna grab diet, but then I looked at you and like, you don't look like you need to be on diet or anything like that.
No, I'm good. Thank
Okay.
you.
It's important to let a suspect sit in an interview room or interrogation room alone. Initially, in this case, when Joseph Roberts is sitting in the interrogation room waiting for us, it looks like he's relaxed. He's somewhat bored almost. But I'm sure what's going through his mind is, do they know?
Hey, what's up, Joe?
What's going on?
George. Harrigan. Are you from here, Joe?
I lived in Seattle for a while when I was growing up, like grade school.
Somewhat familiar with the area, but not
Yeah.
thoroughly familiar, I guess you could say.
Exactly.
One of the first steps is breaking the ice, establishing a rapport and making that individual feel comfortable, and hopefully they'll provide me the information that I need. In July 2010, a Florida woman named Brittany Tavar went missing from St. Johns County. Her bank cards had been used in several areas across the United States. So with that information, we were able to pull surveillance video from those locations where her card was used. We were able to see in some of that footage her vehicle and a male subject, but we did not see Brittany. During the investigation into Brittany's disappearance, we learned that she had attended a block party in her neighborhood with this individual named Joe. We were notified by Seattle Police Department that Joseph Roberts had been taken into custody in the city of Seattle for a minor shoplifting charge. And we asked that they hold him and prepare him for an interview or interrogation with us. We didn't want him to know right away that we were from Florida because we wanted to give him the opportunity to just talk. We wanted to start that conversation with just what happened during this shoplifting incident, and hopefully that would lead into something else.
How did you get up here?
I drove.
You drove?
Yeah.
Do you have a vehicle, or you borrowed somebody's vehicle, or what?
I borrowed somebody's vehicle.
Okay.
During an interrogation, there sometimes can be value in just letting the suspect talk. The more the suspect talks, the better for us. We don't want to give the suspect any information that causes him to shut down and not want to talk to us.
And whose vehicle was that?
Girl named Brittany,
Brittany from
Florida.
Florida. Who is she to you? I mean, how do you...
She was just a friend. I was like, is there any way you can help me get to Seattle? And she was like, okay, yeah, you can take my car. I was like, great, thank you.
So now, during this part of the interrogation, we're starting to get into some details. We're concerned about his version of the events because truly it just doesn't make sense that someone would allow you to use their vehicle to go across the country, and not only that, but give you their debit card and allow you to use that unrestricted.
And she was gonna fly up there, pick it up, and drive it back.
How was she supposed to call you? Did you have a phone at the
I
time?
had her cell phone.
Oh, you had her cell phone.
Unfortunately, the cell phone died. When I left, I didn't have the charger with me.
At this point in my head, I'm very concerned that he's not being truthful and that something very bad had happened to Brittany. There's only one version of the truth, so we want to hear an immediate response of what the truth is. We've established enough rapport, we've been talking long enough to where he's comfortable to the point where he's okay with asking me questions.
Car theft is one thing. Why is my bounty so high?
It's a good question. I was hoping you can answer that for me.
And that's critical, that's crucial, and I'm totally okay with that. I like it when a suspect wants to ask me questions because it means they're comfortable talking to me.
Maybe there's something more to the story. Is there something else you stole from her?
No, as far as I know, I did just the car and the jewelry and the cards.
Right. But one of them, you said she let you use. Right?
You know, I think I should probably get a lawyer.
You think you probably should?
Yeah, I think I need to talk to a lawyer because I don't know where this is going.
This suspect started to realize we knew more than what we had initially said. This was a significant moment in the interrogation. We were very concerned at this point. We left Joseph alone for approximately 30 minutes. At this point, he had basically admitted to taking her car, basically stealing her car. He'd admitted to taking some of her property, but he still hadn't told us exactly what had happened to Brittany or where she was. This is a critical stage in the interrogation. We were done at this point.
Maybe I'll try to set something up where we can hook up with you tomorrow.
All right. I'll talk to you.
He reinitiated contact with us. This was a big deal, and we were about to get the information that we were there for.
I have a couple of requests.
Don't ask for like a helicopter and stuff like that.
That was exactly what I was gonna ask for.
Rapport building continues throughout the interrogation. Sometimes that means you have to joke with that individual, and you have to remember that that person is a human being. Even though they've committed some type of atrocious act, it's my job to get the information we need for future successful prosecution.
And I'll tell you this, I made a huge mistake. We got in an argument, basically, and then I remember standing over her, and she's dead, and there's blood everywhere, and
We'll take a deep breath for a minute and think about the part that you're leaving out. Like how she ended up on the floor with blood all over her.
This moment in the interrogation changed everything. We have the suspect admitting to being present with Brittany Tavar, and he says she's dead. So we know that there's some information that he's leaving out. At this point, we have to find out, how did she die?
honestly, guys, I don't really remember. I don't know.
I feel like that was a stall tactic on his part. He's trying to figure out what he's going to tell us, if he's going to tell us everything, because in this case, I do believe he remembered everything in detail.
I picked up something and I hit her.
Do you know what it was that you picked up?
Hammer, I think.
How many times did you hit her?
I don't know, too many.
The biggest glaring question I'm sure you know I want to know is, where is she?
Now that Joseph Roberts has placed himself at the scene of this crime, he's confessed to a murder, he begins to share additional details that are imperative in this case.
This is 312. Go up this road. Back here, there's a road that runs here, but they're like dirt roads or something.
Now, is she buried or just tossed out there?
She's semi-buried.
Joseph Roberts drew us a handwritten, crude map of the location where he said he had left Brittany's body. His description in this map ended up being to a T.
Is there anything you haven't told us that you think we need to know?
There was a ridiculous amount of blood afterwards. She was still alive for a little while. Her throat was cut as well. And I don't know how that happened.
There's a little bit of premeditation here now, right? She's still alive and he cuts her throat, so could he have called for help? But instead of doing that, he took that final step of picking up a knife, going to her body and cutting her throat and basically finishing her off. At this point in the interrogation process, it looks like there's a big weight lifted off of the suspect's shoulders. He's shared this information that has burdened him for so long. In a way, he's almost relaxed at this point.
Hey, Joe, I'm gonna take you back to the jail. You wanna take those cards with you? Yeah. Just put them in your shirt pocket.
Joseph Roberts was charged with first-degree murder. In the case of Brittany Tavar, he pled to second-degree murder, and he was sentenced to 30 years in prison.